Welcome to the Kaladesh unboxing of the latest Magic set. I haven't played Magic in a while, but this set really got me intrigued just because of all the vehicles that it has in it now, the new energy mechanics. So I decided to get a box so I could open it for you guys on my channel. It came with a box topper, which is just a normal rare in the set that I actually dig, but I dig it because I'm a Kalia fan. And dragons, demons, and angels are always been a favorite of mine. However, in this deck, I'm looking to do kind of like a dwarf vehicle thing. So that's some of the rares that we're finding. Also in this set, they brought back expeditions. In the past, expeditions were just lands and whatnot. Reprints of old lands. In this one, they're going to be artifacts. Things like Mana Bolt and things like that. So I'm going to break down what the packs are. First you gotta open them after looking at your cameraman hard. First, you have your commons. I'm not going to go through this with every set. After this pack, we're just going to skip to the good stuff. The commons make up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commons per pack. Then you got about 3. I just saw something shiny. 3 uncommons normally. And then you got your rare. This rare, and I will butcher all names. Padium Console of Innovation. What it does is artifacts you control have hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control the artifact with the highest converted mana cost or tied for the highest converted mana cost, draw a card. I may use that because with the vehicles they're all artifacts. So I may just splash blue in it depending on what type of pilots I see. Behind that you normally have, if there's a foil, there's a foil. In this case I got a forest. It's nothing special. Behind that you got your land insert. And behind that you got a token card or just an insert. So that'll be it with showing you every single card in the pack and explaining it. Let's get right into it. Alright, pull out a bunch. So skipping straight to the back. You have an artifact. Electrostatic Pummeler. Looks like it's one of those new energy mechanics. I really don't know too much about the set. Just that it's got a bunch of vehicles, dwarves and whatnot, and dwarves haven't been in Magic forever. Next rare we got Scrapyard Scavenger. I believe these are one of the better rares in the set. It's you can't block, but for a 2-drop being a 3/2 that repeatedly comes on the field if you exile targets in the grave, that's actually really good. Low mana cost. Past that you got nothing but the land and token. Something Magic does is they have really good packs. Like to open them. Like we played Force of Will. Those packs, they never did get it right. I think Weiss was alright, but these packs just open so smoothly. Here we have a card I know Gamer Lynn will love. It's a black-white. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life, you gain 2 life. His deck is built all around losing and gaining life. He's kind of a cock like that. So I'll set this aside for him. Gamerlin's a bitch. I think the last time we played he had to have gained 50 life that game. I just couldn't catch up. It was probably more. We have the other version of our box topper. So here's the box topper art next to the actual card art itself. Pretty cool. Again, I dig dragons. If I could find enough support in standard, I would probably play dragons. Standard, this set is actually going to be a lot cheaper than sets before, just because of the expedition lands of this. The market's going to become so flooded. So rares will probably all be about $1 each, with some of the more prominent ones probably being a little bit more. But if you ever wanted to play standard, this would be the time. And next we have Inventor's Fear. It's a lot of text on the land. Go ahead and read that to you guys. It's at the beginning of your upkeep. If you control 3 or more artifacts, you gain a life. Tap, add blank to your mana pool. 4 and tap, sacrifice Inventor's Fear, search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only if you control 3 or more artifacts. So that's pretty interesting. It's kind of a high cost, but it's a 4 cost for 2 to 4 artifacts. So my vehicles and whatnot. Probably end up running this. It's actually a decent card. Behind that you got your land and these tokens, which this time the tokens all have their own little art to them. It's not like the past tokens that are just one type of zombie token. Next, we got another Lin card, Fumigate. It's essentially a board wipe for 5. Destroy all creatures and gain a life for each creature destroyed that way. Off camera, Lin's doing the Randy Orton fucking taunt. He acts like I'm gonna give him these cards. That's probably gonna be one of those dollar rares that I was talking about, though. Because unlike his, what was it, Conjugate that you have?
Conjugate and...
That destroys all non-whites, that's a complete board
No, that's,
wipe.
Malficy, or...
Oh, don't look at me.
I forget the exact name of that card.
Alright, usually I don't show them comments, but this is one I was actually excited about. Start your engines. Whenever you control, or vehicles you control become artifact creatures, essentially I can get past the crew mechanic and still have all my people there. It's really good. At least I think it's a really good uncommon. And we have our first mythic of the set, Planeswalker. If you don't know Magic already, you already know what this thing already does. It's a Planeswalker. It's +1 is Scry 1. And she deals 1 damage to each opponent. It's -2 is creature, or create a token that's a copy of the target artifact or creature you control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. That token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of your next end step. It's -7, which is its ultimate. Search your library for up to 3 artifact cards with different names. Put them into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So this is probably going to make me run blue in my deck. She uses enemy colors, which in this set, that is the split lands are enemy colors. So, not bad. It's probably one, I know Chandra's probably going to be the most expensive one in this set. The one that you can pull from packs, not the intro decks. So, next up, Aether Storm Rock, flying for 4. Uses that new energy mechanic. States, it's flying. Whenever Aether Storm Rock or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. So you pop an energy each time you put something out there. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 2 energy. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on it and tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. So as it attacks, you can pay the 2 energy and essentially take out probably one of their best blockers. It has flying, so maybe one of its only blockers or anything like that. Pretty good control. And since it's not a tapped ability, you could just keep doing it. Good for those energy decks. What was that energy card that was in the starter deck? It was wipes the field essentially besides itself. But during the upkeep, you keep eating 3 energy. Here's a reprint, a Creeping Mold, a really good card that just destroys any target permanent essentially. And behind it, we have the Dwarf Pilot I was looking for. There, you can look at her beautiful ass. Well, don't look at her ass, you can't see it. Basically, other dwarves I control get 1/1. Each vehicle I control gets 1/1 as long as it's a creature. Whenever she becomes tapped, you may pay X. If you do, reveal the top X cards of your library, put all dwarves and vehicle cards among them onto your hand, and then put the rest of the bottom of your library at any order. That's actually a really strong ability. She's a pilot, so normally you just want her to pilot your abilities or your vehicles. And the good thing about vehicles is even though you crew it with one of your guys, they're separate entities still. So anything that blows up the guy doesn't kill your vehicle. Anything that kills your vehicle doesn't kill your guy. So I'm actually really happy I pulled one of those. Hopefully if I get any doubles, that's the card I double up on. Foil in this one. So we'll have 2 cards to show. First is the rare. I will never be able to pronounce that. So I'll get my weird guy to pronounce it. Connor?
That is Panharmonicon.
So it's a harmonica.
Think of it now.
It's an artifact that if an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So it double triggers any when entering type effects. If an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control. So the eagle that I pulled earlier, that every time a creature comes out, it gets an energy, it would give it 2 energy instead.
Yeah.
The foil I got was Mind Rot, which is a really reprinted card. It's a 3 cost, target player discards 2 cards. Basically hand manipulation, hand advantage is really good in this game, and maybe you'll make them discard their last 2 good cards that they had. Next we have another artifact that states each player may play 2 lands a turn. Probably really good in green, even though green can mana ramp like crazy. Its other abilities is at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player has no cards in the hand, that player draws 3 cards. So a little bit of mana ramp plus ways if you reward you for not having a hand. Probably go on my deck as well. And that's going to be it for the first part. Second part will be done by Couch Play Connor.